Chapter 2. Mizuki. Eri and Mikami arrived back in Eri's office at the academy very tired. They were tired from being chewed out at a meeting of the leaders of the Galactic Federation where everyone was briefed on the impact of the Good Luck Fleet. They had been propped up as scapegoats. The Secretary General of the Academy soon interrupted their rest to report that there had been massive losses to the fleet since they left for the meeting. Soon Eri's office was flooded with damage reports. As Eri complained about the amount of work being placed on her, one of her employees called to tell her something, but hesitated when he noticed what a bad mood she was in. Sana came out through the transfer gate on a large dock. The blue sky was visible above, and there was the compact Kamedake anchored in the huge space. Is it really okay to store it in such a large space? Even if it's small, it's a ship with power equal to that of a royal ship plus a second-generation ship. You can't forget that it has Kuriko's ship Mizuki with it. Yeah, but it's just the core. Well, without an exterior, you can't distinguish it from any other ship. Isn't that all the more reason to keep it stored in the same bay? Amain gazed at it, and no matter how much she looked at it, she could find no change in its shape. You'd think there would be some kind of customization. It's not like they don't have the money. We don't need to. An owner can tell their ship without any exterior differences. Really? Amain looked at Sito. Of course, and the design is a symbol of Jurai, so no one is even allowed to change it. Well, it certainly is obviously Jurian at a glance, so its design is kind of like a national flag then. Well, kind of. It's mostly so that without an exterior it isn't immediately obvious whose ship it is. Royal ships must apply in advance for navigation clearance and have their location confirmed. But then there's a limit to its behavior. So, it is also done so that they can have a degree of covert camouflage. I see, that makes sense, Amain said. Luckily, it's also easy to hide the ships because they're stored in such small units. So how did you manage to get clearance to fuse it with the Kamedake? Well, we got confidential permission so we could take down the Good Luck ships. While Kuriko is a royal family member now, it still hasn't been made public knowledge. The ship still doesn't exist publicly. So please treat it as such. Hey Kuriko, have you finished adjusting the unit? Oh yes. Although the residential unit is still under construction, the workers have been working hard at it and the bridge is completed. Okay, then, would you show us around the bridge? Wow! Is it really okay for us to see that? The girls said aloud as if surprised. Why are you so surprised? Well, I wonder. Amain and Ryoko faced each other in a way that seemed strange to Sana. The residential area of a royal ship and the bridge where the trees are located are top secret. Oh well, it's fine for anyone to know as long as you have permission from the tree. Sito said like it was nothing. Is it really that simple? How are you doing, Mizuki? She wants to play. That's what she says. Kuriko said, looking at her ring key which has a cabochon-cut amber embedded in it. Well, let's go then. However, unlike the others, Amain approached Kuriko with reserve. I'll stay here and provide support if you don't mind, Kuriko-sama. No, I insist that you come with us. Amain's face turned red. It's all right, you don't have to act any different than usual around me. Nothing has changed, and you can just call me Kuriko. Oh, I see. Well then I guess I'm fine to go when you're Kuriko. All right, let's go then. Mizuki-chan, please proceed. Kuriko spoke to the key. A ring-shaped light was generated from the key, and the space around them distorted. They were transferred to Mizuki's bridge. There was no discomforting feeling that was usually felt when transferring. The scenery around them had just switched in an instant. It took a while for their senses to realize they were in a different place now, an area with a refreshing breeze and the smell of sweet fruit. Did we just transfer? Yes, it's much smoother than an ordinary transfer. The Kamedake also seems like it should be able to do the same once Fuku-chan grows up. Kuriko told Amain, who was a little puzzled. Welcome, this is Mizuki's bridge. Kuriko bowed to greet them like they were customers. This is a bridge? It's almost like a garden. I could never imagine that this is a ship's bridge. This is the best kept secret of Jurai, isn't it? Amain and the others looked around curiously. It seemed that Ryoko, who was a former space pirate, was particularly impressed. Mizuki's unit was in better shape than it was last night. In particular, the receiving terminal for the neural lights was decorated with old trees. Besides that, various decorations had been laid out in a nice way. It's different from Sito's Mikagami, isn't it? As expected, Hakurin and her crew were calm because they were used to it. Well, although the appearance of the unit is standard, the interior is customized according to the size and shape of the tree and to the tastes of the contractors, but this time we had to rush things and Mizuki-chan is still very young. So I'll be making improvements to it little by little. So, in the middle. Is that your royal tree? Amain looked at the place where the young tree Mizuki was sitting. Since it's called a royal tree, I imagined it was huge. I expected to have to look up. This young tree is of the second generation. Like Mikagami, she is the core of a ship that is said to be the strongest of the universe. Yeah, but haven't they been beaten before? To be honest, yes, I'm afraid that's true. Mizuki-chan, please say hello. Mizuki emitted a nerve light, which was amplified through the terminal, covering the entire bridge. Hello. Hello. Mia. Fuku, who was held in Seina's arms, suddenly slipped out of his grip and began jumping around Mizuki. She noticed that Mizuki was one of the trees who greeted her when she returned to Jurai. Fuku. Fuku. Meow. Maya. Oh, good. This is going to work just fine. Sito looked relieved as she saw Fuku happily jumping around Mizuki. Seina, who had finished greeting Mizuki, went to the residential district. He sat on the rock-like terrace which was made of the roots of the giant tree in the middle. He was breathing as if he had been intensely exercising. Ah, that tickled. It was like being licked by a horde of puppies. It sure seemed happy to see us. A tree with a will of its own. It's quite different from what you imagined, isn't it? Ryoko said. Indeed, before she had seen it as a god of death and destruction from her time as a space pirate, and now it seemed like a puppy. Her mental image of it flipped 180 degrees. Isn't it cute? Isn't it? But is Sito's like that? Well, their personalities vary, but the other trees have a similar feeling to them. The area around my back is still tickling. The girls were hardly able to keep from falling over laughing. Amain took a deep breath to stop the tickling sensation before looking around at the scenery. Even though I'm somewhat used to it on the Kamadake, it feels strange seeing such a large subspace in a ship. Fixing such a huge subspace was a luxurious and inefficient waste of energy for most ships. It was unnecessary to have such a large space on a personal ship, and it would be cheaper to just connect a physical residential unit to a ship. This residential district is relatively small though. Even so, it's about 8 kilometers wide and 5 kilometers high. For an individual's private quarters, it's far too big, but compared to Sito-sama and Azusa's it's nothing. Although it's just a basic layout, there are units included that produce clothes, give medical care, and necessities for daily life are also provided, so thousands of people here can live on their own self-sufficiently. Actually, you could in theory attach even more subspaces. Many people have about 30 or so on their second-generation ships and use them for growing resources using time acceleration. It's not unreasonable to say that you could house an entire planet's worth of people here and run this place like an independent nation if you wanted to. That's a ridiculous amount of power for a ship to have, no matter how you look at it. No one has tried to see what the actual limits are, so 30 is not even the upper limit. It's just a waste to have that many for individual use. Even those who make a hobby out of making these subspaces really only end up using about 5 of them in practice. A royal ship itself can be used like a nation of its own, and as for defense, it generates an unreasonable amount of energy. It actually doesn't have to be armed because the exterior of the ship is actually a limiter. A limiter? The ship's offensive power is too high. No matter how we suppress it, it still has the power to blow up a planet in one shot, even with a limiter. So, in theory, you could rule the entire Federation with only one ship. That would be possible in theory, but the ships don't like fighting. Oh, he. Well, that kind of makes sense. Amain felt the tickles from earlier as she remembered Mizuki. They're just like Fuku-chan. Neju stroked Fuku. Do you like being dizzy and dazzling? The smell of nature. The beautiful clean air. I can't believe this is all in a spaceship. It certainly feels unnatural to do battle with such a ship. For those who have always lived in space, this environment was heaven. There was no need to worry about clothing, shelter, or living space. There was no need to fight to get food for a living. So, Miss Sito, how much would it be to have one of these units made for me? A main asked. Oh, are you interested? I'm just doing a bit of window shopping. It's not like I don't have the money. Well, a basic unit can make more assets than the entirety of Tenji produces. Is that what you're after? Well, sorry, but they aren't for sale. Besides causing various inconveniences, it would be impossible to fix such an area in subspace without something generating enough power. Ha ha ha. Of course, that's why I decided to fix it to Kariko's ship. A main-san. That's truly genius. It was a wonderful idea. It is a good idea. I could recreate my palace. I wouldn't fix it to Kariko's ship, but what about the Kamedake? Neji chimed in. Everyone hopped on the idea. Oh! I want a big outdoor bath and pool. Why stop there? You can fix entire planets, and even a small solar system if you want. A few planets. That's crazy, ahahaha. Amain was dizzy with excitement. How about you? Well, Hakurin, who was asked by Sito, was a little puzzled because she still considered herself to be one of Sito's officers. If everyone else is getting one, wouldn't you want something? Well, you see. Hakurin, you're also a part of the Kamadeke's crew. Don't be so modest. Well, I guess you're right. Hakurin's heart shook. Huh. Sito noticed that Sena was looking around as if he were looking for something. What's wrong with you? Oh no. I just noticed that Kariko isn't here anymore. Fuku jumped away from Sena's chest. Oh, Fuku. Hey, where are you going? Sito smiled as Fuku and Sena ran off to a transfer gate. Amain and the others were so excited thinking about units that no one noticed. A weed? Where did the seeds come from? Kariko was squatting as she tried to pull out a weed that grew next to Mizuki. Please don't do that. Don't bother it, it's my friend. Are you sure? There were various meanings to what it said. It wouldn't be a strain on Mizuki's growth, and of course, because its lifespan was much shorter than Mizuki's, it would die soon. Yeah. Okay, so are you also friends with Fuku-chan? Kariko softly sat down in the vicinity. I like Fuku a lot. Mizuki shined nerve lights here and there. It was a fun gesture. Hehe, I see, that's good. Mayang. Suddenly Fuku ran in from behind Kariko. Fuku-chan. You surprised me. Mia. Did you finish the tour? Is anyone with you, Fuku-chan? Sena is headed here. Kariko looked around. Fuku, where are you? Sena called as he transferred in. Oh hey, where are Sena and Kariko? Amain and the others finally realized that they weren't there. They must have left while we were talking. Why do I feel like we've been caught in another mosquito net? Yesterday it was Ringo and today it's Kariko. Sito looked away. In other words, it was like Sito had started the conversation in order to give them time alone. You shouldn't complain so much, besides they will be fine together if you don't have an eye on them. Plus, if you shoot down the Good Luck Fleet, I can maybe see about getting you a 4th or 5th generation ship for a reward. Think about it, then you can fix 2 units or maybe even 3. Whoa, are you serious? I'll also throw in a special vacation. Roger that. Everyone was happy and pleased with Sito's suggestion of a reward. Mia. Mia. Fuku was entertained as she played with Mizuki. She ran around the tree like she was playing a game of tag as the nerve light chased her. However, even though she was focused on playing, Fuku avoided the weed that Mizuki said was her friend. Sena and Kariko were sitting side by side, looking at the cabit and the tree silently. Mia. Fuku hid behind Sena. That's cheating. Sena caught Fuku and handed her over to Mizuki. I got you. Mia. Meow. Mizuki's nerve light shined on Fuku. Mizuki-chan won. Mizuki's nerve light moved from Fuku to Sena's forehead. Hey, Sena, is there anything you want to talk about? Mizuki's question startled both Kariko and Sena, who were avoiding talking about something. Me, Mizuki-chan. Kariko seems like she has something she wants to say too. Mizuki's remark was childishly naive and stepped on the landmines exquisitely. Sena and Kariko turned red ear to ear. Actually, about yesterday, Sena decided to start talking about the incident he had yesterday. It's all right. There was no reason to be angry after knowing the detailed circumstances, and it wasn't what she had imagined. However, as soon as she heard it from Sena, she felt fine. If he had said nothing, she might have remained suspicious. Fuku. Fuku. Mia. Mia. Kariko calmed her mind as she watched the two playing joyfully. Sorry to make you worry. Thanks, but it's Yuzaki-sama's fault. Despite being embarrassing, the matter of concern was settled. Kariko's heart felt sluggish. Fuku was once again captured by Mizuki's nerve light. They've become friends, I suppose that's good. Well, yes, but I'm a bit disappointed that she doesn't have a terminal form like Ryoki. Maybe we should ask Washa to make her a moving terminal form like Onoka or Kyoko. Sounds good. Sena looked closely at Kariko and breathed heavily as he decided. Kariko, that kimono, you look nice in it, he said. Oh, thank you. It's not like you to notice a woman's outfit. I'm a little surprised. Kariko was touched, but she returned the comment with small talk because the tension was resolved. Kariko, remember the suit you were wearing when you left my village to go find work? Oh! Kariko remembered Sena's expression when she first showed up like that. His facial expression of when he was still a junior high school student overlapped with the expression of Sena currently had on. Oh! The face was happy, but the eyes were like a puppy being abandoned. He understood the reason for her leaving back then. She had run away to overcome her feelings towards his luck. Now being a royal family member for Kariko was an act of trying to approach Sena in rank. But for Sena, it seemed like Kariko had gone far away from him once again. Sena was always within her reach. If she wanted to reach him, she could have at any time. Kariko knew that. I'll always be here for you. Kariko gently moved her hand to hold Sena's hand. They both sat without saying anything as they locked eyes. The warmth of their hands superimposed on each other was enough. They knew the truth of the existence of each other from the feel alone. There they are. A voice put an end to the precious time shared between the two. Sita-sama. Sena and Kariko quickly let go of each other's hands and got up. Everything seems ready. Let's get started right away. Okay. To be honest though, he regretted having to end that moment between the two of them. When he saluted, he took Fuku and ran away.